Just a quick introduction. Again, my name is Charles Owen with Paladin, and the topic of the day is make your store the rental destination, and we're going to be demonstrating the point of rental software. The description reads, we're laser focused on helping you make better business decisions by putting your data to work. Our spring 2019 release is rolling out with an array of new features and integrations that supports the growth of your stores in a rapidly evolving retail marketplace. So we're very excited today to go through kind of a rundown on how the integration works with Paladin, with Point of Rental. Point of Rental is an independent software provider. You will have full-on rental capabilities, and then it will integrate with Paladin. So we're going to go through this real quickly. I first want to ask folks if, number one, you can see my slides. If you can just raise your hand. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. And obviously you can hear me because you heard that request. Thanks, Michael and Andrew and others. I appreciate it. Okay, so I think I am recording. Yes, I am. So we're good to go, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the first slide we're going to talk about is what we're going to learn today. Now, there's a couple things you're going to learn from me, and then you're going to learn some more better things from Point of Rental. What I'm going to show you in just a couple of minutes is how the setup works in Paladin with Point of Rental, and then how the Point of Rental integration process affects the Paladin system. Basically, what's going to happen is this is going to give you full accountability of everything that happens in rental will come over to Paladin, meaning all your data is going to be in one location. But the real meat and potatoes of this, and the real magic happens, is you're going to have full-on capabilities for your rental shop, and that's very, very key. So I'm just going to go through a couple of slides, show you how this works. So the only thing you need to do for a setup is we'll activate the Point of Rental integration. That will be done by a Paladin support tech. And then beyond that, all you have to do is create a part number in your inventory and mark it as non-inventory and non-taxable. And what will happen is all that information from the Point of Rental will come down as a dump SKU, if you will, tracking the sale of that money. And we're there really to finalize the transaction, to take the money. And it will go into the drawer as it does with all other sales. How it's going to look and how it's going to work is on the Point of Rental. When the Point of Rental is received back into the store, you then go into Paladin and you go to recall transaction and click on a new button that's next to delivery. It's called electronic communication, shortened as ECOM. You click that button, you will see all the Point of Rental transactions that are ready to be paid and transacted. And it's just, you recall it just like you recall a stored quote or stored special order or on hold or any of those. It will just come right up and you hit F12 to recall. All right. So there is a process flow on the Point of Rental side, which you'll be seeing momentarily. But as the transaction is closed out on Paladin, so this is the window. This is how it will come up in Paladin point of sale, come up as a rental agreement and the rental agreement number and a total price. After that is transacted on a Paladin, we then send out another message to Point of Rental saying close the transaction on the Point of Rental side. And that, my friends, is all you have to know about on the integration on the Paladin side. It's all automatic. And now what we'll do is we'll hear how you're going to use the Point of Rental product and what it can do for your store. So I'm going to pass the baton, and it's going to be going over to Preston Harris, who is going to be taking over the screen. So I'm going to make him the presenter right now, and he'll be communicating from this point forward. I appreciate it, and I'll jump in at the end here just to summarize. But thank you all for attending. I appreciate it, and let's just move forward here.
Thank you, Charles. So my name is Preston Harris. I'm the Strategic Sales Manager at Point of Rental Software. And I just wanted to give a quick introduction to who we are as a company, the kind of solutions we provide, And then I'm going to hand it over to Sean Sebastian, who's one of our sales engineers, who will show a live demonstration of the product. So, of course, our company name is Point of Rental. We know rental inside and out, and it really comes from the core of our founding. So back in 1982, some of our founders started a rental store. They went to market looking for rental software, and they found that they could not find anything on the market. So being software engineers, they had actually written programs previously for NASA to land people on the moon. So they had a little bit of coding experience, and they decided to go write their own software. So back in 1982, we started selling software and also running a rental business. And over the years, that rental business was sold off, and the software business really took off. We found that our software really fit a need that was lacking in the industry. So over the course of the years, our software has won a lot of awards. We are been recognized as the leader of rental management software by RER magazine. And we've won a lot of innovation awards over the years for developing new features that really move the industry forward as a whole. And, we don't really just sit around in a room and think of new features. These are all driven from our customers. So our customers have the ability to provide feedback through our You Innovate portal, and that really drives all our new development. So, throughout our engagement, through all of our interactions, we try to treat our clients not as customers, but as partners. They make us better, we make their business better, and that's something that we really try to drive home. So we've grown leaps and bounds over the last few decades, and specifically just in the last several years. I've been with Point Rental about 5 years now, and I was hired on as the 50th employee. Now we've got over 200, and we've got 4 different offices around the world, all able to provide local support in whatever time zone you may be in. So the product that we're going to be looking at here is our Rental Essentials. So we've got a whole suite of products. Rental Essentials is going to be our cloud-based SaaS product. And this product is going to allow you to access your rentals from any kind of device, whether it's a phone, tablet, from anywhere. There's no hardware required. You don't have to install anything on any devices. It's all web-based. And with that, we're able to push out updates very fast. So this product is developing rapidly. It's our newest, latest product, and we're constantly developing on this product and constantly moving this product forward. And so we're really excited about what we're going to be able to show you today. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Sean Sebastian. Sean is one of our sales engineers who's been with Point of Rental for about 2 years now. He is currently based in the UK, and so he'll be coming to you live from the UK. And with that, I'll turn it over to Sean here.
Hey, thank you for that, Preston. As Preston mentioned, I've been with Point of Rental for about 2 years now. I'm in our Reading location just outside of London. But without further ado, let's jump into the system here. And so it's an honor for us to have the chance to partner with somebody with such a name as Paladin and to provide the service and rental for you. Now, Rental Essentials, as Preston mentioned, is completely cloud-based. So as long as you have an internet connection, you can get your data at any point. So you could be on a beach in Bali and be able to catch up on your rental store. So if we jump into this system here, this is what's known as the dashboard. You're going to see any recent transaction to show here, as well as everything that's going out. This isn't really where your team would work out of. Where they're going to be working is the workbench right here. And from this view, operationally, I can see every single thing that's going on for my rental location. So I can see every order that's going out, every single quote, and it's going to look like a lot of information, but the beauty of the system is how simple it is. You can go right here, and I can quickly look at a customer if I want to look that up. If I want to look at the name of a piece of equipment, if I want to see all of my tents that are out, I can look at that there. Or even if I know the exact serial number, I can just start typing in the name of the serial number, and it will automatically show me where that is so that I can go maintenance that or be able to take care of that order as well. The good news is as well, we have quick filters built into the system so that if you want to look at all of your canceled orders so that you can follow up with your customers and figure out why are they being canceled. If you want to look at all of your quotes in one place, you just click one button and you can see it in one place. And if you've been in sales for any amount of time, most of sales is simply following up. So you have all of your quotes right there. If your store does deliveries as well, I can just go here to my filters, and here are all of my deliveries, and I can go to actions and I can print out the pick list, hand that to my driver, and then they can be out the door with everything and be ready to go for the day. So let's go through kind of what a normal transaction would look like. We'll say my favorite customer, Betsy, is calling in, and she needs a wood chipper. So I'm your employee. I just started. I see how great this cloud-based system is. It seems really intuitive. You know what? Okay, I've just finished my first day of training, and I'm going to do this contract. So I have Betsy on the phone. Betsy, how are the kids? How's everything going? I would go up here to inventory, and while I'm talking to her, I'm looking up to see how many chippers we have available. And I can see, okay, I have 6 out of 7 at this location available. This is my base rate. If I click this one button right here, I can see for how much longer I'm going to have 6 of those available. And I see for the next, looks like next about 2 weeks or so, I'm going to have those 6 available. So Betsy, no worries. I have you taken care of. Let's go ahead and write a contract for you. Now, quick pause. Again, if I'm a brand new employee, I don't necessarily know what goes with what, right? I don't know that this isn't the only wood chipper that we have, but we have a different category. So I would actually also be able to just simply click here, go to more details, and then I can show category availability, and it's going to show me every single other item that I could give as, let's say that I had none that I could give to her. I can go to category, and then I can see every other option for her, so that you can make sure that you get that rental. So something that I'll point out again and again with the system is you're able to train your team where to go in the system so that you don't have to answer their questions again and again and again. So you have to train your team where to go. I go here, I click here, and I'm able to help the customer so that now you can focus on your business. And that's what we designed this for the intuitive flow. So let's start. Time back in. So we have 6 out of 7 available. Let's go ahead and create a new contract. So I'd be able to go in here. You notice here that I can search by company name, name of the customer themselves, phone number, email, and you'll also see I can add a new customer. If you have a fair amount of walk-in traffic, you can add a new customer here. You can also scan the driver's license as well in order to take the information faster and also to stop typos from happening. So I'd be able to go here, go to Betsy's account, and I can see historically, okay, Betsy's ordered something similar before. I'd be able to duplicate that order if I so chose, or I can choose, for the sake of this demo, we're just going to walk through the steps though. So she's going to show up today. She's going to have the chipper for 2 days, and our store does delivery, and you can either choose to use the customer address that's on file. You can use a new address, and you could actually even save that for reuse if you know that you're going to be going back to that site again and again and again. But for the sake of this demo, we are going to go straight to Betsy's address off Creek Tree Avenue, and we're able to add additional delivery instructions for the delivery driver, because there's nothing worse than a lost delivery driver. We'll say drop off and back, and create quote. So you'll note here our delivery instructions, and you also notice this little Google Maps symbol. You should probably see that on your phone as well if you use Google Maps. And if you click that, that'll take you straight to Google Maps so that you can verify that this is indeed a good address. It's not going to be some empty field with nobody in it, but this is going to be somewhere that we can actually get to. And if I just go here and I type in that same chipper, then I'm able to see this is the exact same one. Okay, you also notice we have internal notes. Again, from a training perspective, if you can train your team where to look in the system, all you have to do is train them one time on where to look, and then you're good to go. So you can put specifications in here, frequently asked questions, so that even if I'm on my first week on the job, I'm going to know where to look in the system to make sure that I give the best customer service possible. And then we also have the description here. I'm not going to get too detailed about that, except to say that actually connects to an online storefront that comes native with Point of Rental. It's actually really awesome, but we're going to get to be able to talk about that at the very end, so I won't go into too much detail. But let's just say it helps you get to the top page of Google. Just saying. With this wood chipper, you're going to have optional items. So again, if I'm a brand new employee, as long as you put in the optional items that come with this wood chipper, I'm going to be able to ask, would you like fries with that, and be able to upsell all the time. So with this one, because it's a gas wood chipper, we're going to add some fuel to it as well. And she only needs one, and we're going to go ahead and rent that item out and put it on reservation. Now here's something that I absolutely love, and that is our contract screen, because number one, it makes you money, and number two, you're actually able to email that straight to your customer. So this empowers you if you have a customer that ever changes up an order. You know what, I'm working on this project and I thought I needed just the wood chipper, but I also need this, this, and that. You're able to get a signature on the contract saying that, yes, I need that changed. And I can either choose to just send the document, you're only sending just the invoice as a PDF. I can choose to request signature, I can choose to request payment, or I can choose to request signature and payment. For the sake of this demo, we are only going to do the signature on this one. And just so you see what it looks like, I'm actually going to send it to myself. Important to note as well, this beautiful little button, you can actually tie different user manuals to the actual units. So the only reason that's on there is because the chipper that we have inside the system has a PDF attached to it, and I can choose, if I just click that button, I can choose to automatically send that. So it's beautiful for things like OSHA, for health and safety, to make sure that your customer knows that you have sent that user manual and you have it on file that you sent it to them. So go here and click send. You're going to notice here it says that the document was created, and you also notice here that it says that it has not been signed yet. So if I click here on this little I look at the invoice and there is no signature on it. So it's up to you at that point if you want to go ahead and move forward. I am not a legal advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. Generally, just best practice. You normally want to get those signed. So let's go into the contract and sign it so that we can go ahead and move forward. So here we are in Betsy's email. I click here, and something that you'll note is that we actually save the IP address as well. So you're also verifying that this is in fact Betsy who's logging in, looking at the contract. You know what, this is everything we talked about. These are my delivery instructions. Okay, yeah, I'm great. And that all leads to one happy customer. I sign the document. And then because cursive is a lost art form, the customer is to type out their name as well. Click I agree and confirm signature. So at that point, Betsy is empowered to, she can either download the contract herself, or she can rest assured that you have a powerful cloud-based rental software that connects to Paladin that's going to save the invoice. And let me show you where that's going to be. So if I go in here into the contract, you'll see that now it went from no to signed, and not only just signed, but when it was signed, down to the minute. I click on the eyeball, and I scroll down, and look at that beautiful signature. Just wonderful. And that gets saved inside of your system ostensibly forever, so that you keep that on file. So from that point, let's say Betsy shows up, she's ready to go, she's signed the contract straight from her smartphone, too easy. Go in here to the order, and now it's time to pick out the serialized unit that's going to fulfill Betsy's needs. So I click here. Something else that Essentials does extremely well, so I want you to pay really close attention to this because I love it, is product photos, condition photos before the rental and then after the rental. Because I don't know how many times you've had it where somebody rents an item and it comes back kind of messed up and with some scratches on it that you weren't really expecting. So with this helps with that conversation immensely, and you can do it straight from your phone. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So if I go to upload from phone here, I just simply open my camera, look at the QR code, and we're going to go into the website here, and I can actually take a picture straight from my phone. So you should note, little selfie there, use photo, And it is uploading now. And you should see an extremely bearded man right here. There you go. This way you can have a photographic evidence of what your tools, what your equipment looked like before it went out, before your customer went and scratched it or broke a piece or any or did any damage to it. And you can also take multiple photos as well. And you'll see what that looks like on the receiving side. This portion of it will actually be taken by Paladin, so we're just going to kind of breeze through that section. So Betsy takes the chipper. She loves it. She does what she needs to do, and now she's bringing it back to us. I can go here and I click received, and I'm going to choose that one item. And you'll see this is what it looked like before, and now I can take a picture for what it looks like after as well. That way you have just photographic evidence. This is what it was before. This is what it was after. Sorry, Betsy, but that huge gash, that huge scratch on the side was not there before. And if you're looking at, and you're also able to charge for any kind of maintenance, any kind of damage immediately. So let's say it's damaged, but it's still usable. You can immediately charge a fee for that maintenance. You can also, if let's say that maybe it was a huge accident, or maybe Betsy even lost it. At that point, you'd actually be able to bill the customer for the lost unit as well. Now, something else that I want you to notice about, actually, before we go into that, let's say for Betsy's case, she did a really good job. It's like new. It's even better than it was before, so we're good. So let's say, and from here, you'll notice the scheduled maintenance function. So what that is something that I've set in the system for an off-rental inspection. So it's going to take the chipper, and it's not going to allow you to rent it out again until you look from top to bottom to make sure that everything's okay. So that's to make sure that nothing is broken on it. You're going to be able to make sure that your team follows your steps to make sure that everything is clean and that you are providing the service that's expected from your rental store. And at this point, Paladin would take the payment and the invoicing, and you'd be good to go. Let me, just a couple more things. This is what maintenance would look like inside of the system itself. You'll notice here that this wood chipper is not available because it's doing an off-rental inspection. Be able to go here, and if I just click here, then those notes can automatically go into the system so that you know that your team is following step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. In this case, I put in personally the notes, complete inspection from the top down to ensure safety, cleanliness, and compliance for our store. If there's any kind of costs associated with fixing it, if there's something that you need to fix in it, then you're actually able to say, all right, yeah, it costs about $10 to fix it, and then you can return to service, and that's going to affect the ROI, the return on investment, in the reporting that's native inside the system, so that you can see which pieces of equipment that you're having to service again and again and again, and then you can make good business decisions based on that reporting that comes native inside of Rental Essentials. Something else that's highly useful for our clients is this lovely missed rental button. I like to think of it as the button that makes you money. Let's use the example of Betsy again. We'll say that Betsy was going to rent out that Brushmaster, the wood chipper. But for whatever reason, she decided not to go with us. Was it the fact of we didn't own it? Do we need to look at buying some more? Was it broken? Were we overbooked? Were we too expensive? Am I being competitive enough in my market? And or was it some other reason that that's not a part of the dropdown? You're able to track that information. So I like to think of this as having your finger on the pulse of your market. That way you have an idea of where the market is going. So as long as you train your team to input that information, you're going to always be a step ahead of your competition, because you're able to run the reports on this again and again and again and again. You can look at this daily, you can look at this weekly, you can look at this monthly, and this comes native inside of your system to make sure that you are ahead of the game, ahead of those around you that aren't using Paladin and aren't using Rental Essentials. Just two more things I want to show today. The quick receive function. If you're using barcode scanning, you can actually scan everything back in that has been on rent. So let's say it's a really busy Monday and everybody's bringing everything back from their weekend projects. You can have one person on the barcode scanner just scanning everything back in. It'll show as received as long as it's tied into the system, and then you're good to go to then begin billing for those contracts. So a lot of our clients love that feature, just because it makes receiving everything so much easier. And last but not least, every single Rental Essentials client has a not just sandbox, they have an online storefront that can have all of your inventory in one spot. So let's say Betsy didn't decide to call us, but she decided to go onto our online storefront and do an order. So she'd be able to see here, okay, yep, they have that in here. Oh, beautiful. Okay, they got 6 in stock. Oh, by the way, you can turn that off if you decide that you don't want to show that and you want to sub-rent your items instead. So you have a lot of flexibility inside the system. And so then Betsy would just sign into her account and she'd be able to do an entire order that way. So you just sign in right here. So and then that would flow straight into your Rental Essentials dashboard so that you could fulfill the order. I like to think of it as making money while you sleep, because it's constantly available to your customers to be able to take orders even while your team is asleep at home. So that is kind of the high level overview of Rental Essentials. I think at this point I'll go ahead and let Charles take it from here.
Well, that was very informative. The power in that online storefront feature is really awesome. I think it's intuitive. It's easy to use, easy to train on. I am thoroughly impressed, and I really appreciate your time today, Sean. I know it's probably pretty late out there, I would imagine.
Oh no, it's not that bad.
No, not too bad. Good deal. Well, this concludes our demonstration today. I wanted to invite anybody to ask any questions. There's a little question box that you can type into down below on the go to my webinar dialog box there. If you have any questions, we'll give you a half a minute or so to type something in quick. And we've got the experts here. We've got Sean, we got Preston, we got the folks on our side as well that might be able to help. But all in all, I think it was so intuitive. Nobody has any questions. That's wonderful. It's good to see. I thank you guys, and as you can see on the screen here, which hopefully you can see my screen, it looks like you can. You will be able to get into the portal at portal.paladinpos.com/webinars, and you'll be able to watch this webinar again, share it with your friends, with your coworkers. If somebody else needs to see this information, it's available to you. So. Again, thank you all so much, and we'll be signing off. And I appreciate your time again, and thank you guys, Preston and Sean. Really appreciate your time as well. I think this was very, very useful. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later.